The price of Bitcoin fell sharply today as investors race for the exits. Fears of Bitcoin being broken by quantum computers, a mass mystery exodus of Bitcoin miners, and the incredibly lackluster launch of Bakkt are all playing their part in fanning the flames of panic. Also for you today, an update on Block Show Singapore, and I announced the winner of the $100 Bitcoin giveaway. Now, before I break down all of these stories for you, BlockFi is running a crazy deal until the end of the month. You can get $50 in free Bitcoin only by using the link down below to sign up for a BlockFi interest account and then making a deposit into your interest account. So for those of you who have been curious about making a passive income with Bitcoin, this is a good chance to get started earning more than 6% annually on your Bitcoin holdings by being able to make a small deposit and then try out the service, as well as getting 50 bucks in Bitcoin as a sweet bonus. Please understand the risk to reward ratio before making a deposit and becoming a member of BlockFi. So the price of Bitcoin is down today, and it seems that the last few days of relative chill was simply the calm before the storm, and then all hell broke loose. These days of dramatic Bitcoin price movements tend to stir a bit of panic. But for me personally, doesn't really do that much. Just another day in Bitcoin. Perhaps there's going to be a trading opportunity. Perhaps it's simply a good time to stack up some more Satoshis on the dip. But my long-term view of Bitcoin is completely unfazed by these kind of moves. And just to provide you some perspective here, today's price takes us back to the long ago time of June. A reminder as well that 1 million Satoshis is only around $85 today. Great for dollar cost averagers. That being said, today's move broke through a key area of support just above the $9,000 mark. The next big zone of support looking down is at $7,500. The descending triangle has broken. If this halving plays out like the previous one, then we can actually expect a lot of basically ranging in the areas that we have seen over the last few months between now and May when the halving happens. The fascinating thing about today's move is that it filled the CME gap at $8,500. But on the bright side, if you are a believer in the powers of the CME futures contracts to influence the markets, then there is also a CME gap around $11,700. That being said, the CME loves Bitcoin so gosh darn much that they have decided to introduce Bitcoin options early next year. The newest offering from the CME is designed to help institutions and professional traders manage spot market Bitcoin exposure, as well as to be able to hedge Bitcoin futures positions in a regulated exchange environment. Basically, more ways for big players to manipulate the price of Bitcoin. Oh boy, so exciting. CME, yeah. The CME has become such a major force in the crypto markets. It's kind of crazy, actually. And it's only a matter of time before they drop Ethereum futures on the market. It's coming, guys. And in other news, Bakkt, it's finally launched. So much anticipation and not much payoff on day one or on day two. In fact, day one volume for Bakkt was about 75 times lower than the CME's first day of futures markets, only doing around 70 Bitcoin in volume on day one. Many people had thought that Bakkt would launch Bitcoin to the moon immediately. But just 2 days post-Bakkt launch, and the entire crypto sphere has lost tens of billions of dollars in value. The market dump can be in part attributed to the disappointing volume of Bakkt on its launch. Long term, though, Bakkt will indeed bring more liquidity into the crypto markets. But it seems that many institutional investors are currently rather happy having their demands met over on the CME. Building volume on Bakkt is going to take some time. Interestingly, the one thing that not many people have been talking about has been Binance's futures markets, which are currently doing like 66,000 Bitcoin a day in volume. That's crazy, and that's only a week after launching. That is over $500 million a day in volume, which has immediately made Binance into a major player in the futures markets. Certainly blowing Bakkt out of the water, and even doing more volume than the CME, about twice as much as the CME, in fact, which is nuts. It seems that there is definitely an appetite for Bitcoin futures on freer and less regulated markets. In other news, Bitcoin's hash rate has taken a massive plunge, dropping an eye-watering 35% after reaching a new high of 102 quintillion hashes per second, and then dropping back down to around 67 quintillion. To put that in perspective for you about how big that is, that will be about 2 million Antminer S9s turned off all at once. The reasons for this mass miner shutdown remain unclear at this stage, but it does make me wonder, could this have something to do with the story that I covered last week about Chinese authorities beginning raids in Inner Mongolia to shut down mining operations? This is an area which is one of the biggest geographic hotspots globally for Bitcoin mining. If it is, then authorities might actually be shutting down miners, and this could be the result of that, or maybe it's just miners packing up and getting out of Dodge before the hammer comes down on them. We can see that hash rate return in the near future. Either way, the dip is likely to be temporary. And in spite of the temporary hash power dip, the overall trend is still up, with the network still being incredibly secure. And to put it in perspective for you, this returns us to the hash rate of the long ago time of August. And another story which has spooked some Bitcoin holders this week was this story. Google has reached quantum supremacy, threatening the future of blockchains everywhere. That's it, guys. That's it. Sell now, short this Ponzi to the ground. The new paradigm of money is over. Put your head down, get back to your cubicle. We're done. Anyway, guys, quantum supremacy is what Google quietly announced they have accomplished last week. Essentially, Google claims to have pulled off a stunt on a quantum computer that no classical computer, not even the world's most powerful supercomputer, can replicate. We found out about this little innovation via a paper leaked on NASA's website, which was then hastily removed. Come on, NASA, where's my alien proof? You give me this stuff instead? Psh, NASA, those guys. Anyway, NASA is involved in the project, which kind of tells you a bit about the overall seriousness of it, and of course, why the leak actually happened. The claim is that Google now has a quantum device with a power of 54 qubits, meaning that it can solve a complex mathematical equation in 3.5 minutes, which would take the Summit 3, which is an IBM supercomputer, about 10,000 years to solve. Pretty cool, actually. The leaked paper also stated that Google will be able to advance its quantum technology at double the exponential rate. While these claims are hard to verify initially, the fear is that within 10 years, Google may be able to wield the power to break all modern encryption, including Bitcoin. Now, for the moment, the public-private key encryption techniques on which Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are built cannot be broken by a quantum computer. But at the rate quantum computing is advancing, it will sooner than later become a real threat. If Bitcoin never advances and if Bitcoin never upgrades. But Bitcoin will advance. Bitcoin can adapt to the quantum threat. In fact, Bitcoin must do this if it wants to survive. But fears aside, many experts say that the ability of quantum computers to crack the most common modern encryption is about 10 to 30 years away, and that SHA-256 is no basic encryption and will be much harder to crack. So any threat to modern day Bitcoin is years away. Your Bitcoin will not be hacked by Google's quantum computer tomorrow, so relax. The Google computer was built to solve one very specific and highly technical problem and really has no use beyond that currently. But it is a big step towards the future of quantum computing. Also, as a side note, next generation cryptocurrencies like Nexus and Cardano and Praxis, they are already ahead of the curve in terms of future-proofing themselves against quantum computing. The whole conversation actually though is less of a headache for users as it is for developers who need to innovate around this. And Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano, they all have very big and strong teams, and I have a lot of faith in those teams. That being said, there may be a backdoor into Bitcoin. A quantum shortcut known as Shor's algorithm may pose a massive risk over the next decade to public key cryptography, specifically because the calculation enables the extraction of the private key from any public key. And to make matters worse, Shor specifically targets the elliptic curve digital signature algorithm, which Bitcoin and Ethereum, among others, use. The threat is to the ECDSA in its current form, though, but it is a real threat. Although it is estimated that it would require a quantum computer with 1,500 qubits to be able to actually run that algorithm. The current Google model is only 54 qubits. The tricky part of upgrading the network to address the ECDSA and the SHA-256 problems is that there is no quick fix. It would require a fairly serious network upgrade, which could result in anyone, i.e. Satoshi's coins, for example, who does not move their coins in time, basically losing them forever. And look, that is on the deep end of what may or may not happen in a decade's time, but it gives you an idea of what we are dealing with here. Am I personally worried about the threat of quantum computers to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies? Not really. Will Bitcoin need to adapt to thrive in a quantum world? Yes, it will. Technology is a never-ending battle. As the ability to break encryption increases, so will the ability to encrypt. I am confident that Bitcoin developers can keep up with this. Bitcoin will adapt because it has to. So there's that. Anyway, before I announce the winner for the Bitcoin giveaway, I have a little bit more information for you about Block Show Singapore. So let's get into that. Hey guys, remember last week how I was mentioning about Block Show Singapore coming up in November? Well, I'm joined by Addy today, who's going to give us a little more information about that event coming up here pretty soon. Now, just before he jumps in and tells us a little more about that, I just want to remind you guys that there is going to be an influencer event. So it's going to be myself and a couple other top YouTube personalities. We haven't confirmed exactly who's coming yet, so stay tuned for those details to come here in the near future. And also, there is a 70% discount code to get yourself a ticket down below. It's not an affiliate link or referral or anything like that. It's just a way for you guys to get a cheaper ticket to come to an awesome event. So, Addy, why should people be interested in Block Show Singapore? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, sure. Hi, Lark. Hi, everybody. Thanks for inviting me to the show. Thanks for coming to Blog Show. Thanks for being really enthusiastic about the influencer event and really helping us a lot in that. Thank you so much. And regarding the Blog Show, right? So that's the main question, what it is. So I guess that, okay, many people know what it is, right? It's a blockchain conference, which we have been doing for 3 years. We're powered by Cointelegraph. So we are early in the community. I personally entered the community in 2014, right? So this year it's a big blockchain event. It's a block show festival of decentralized technology we are doing on November 14, 15 with lots of different side events around, like including, for example, your influencer event, including the Bitcoin meetup we are doing in collaboration with Blockstream and all of these kind of different things, right? But the main thing about the upcoming show is that our belief, right? That we, of course, we do events to do networking for people to get customers, partners, whatever, right? But at the very end, the event should influence the whole community, right? It should move it forward. So this year, starting from this year, we're really focused on bringing movers and shakers, not only from the community, but from outside. So this year we have government representatives, let's say like kind of a government support here in Singapore. So we will have numerous government representatives attending the event and taking part in that. Like for example, Supnandu Mohanty, he's the Chief FinTech Officer at Monetary Authority of Singapore, right? He will be talking about innovation and all of this kind of things. So this is important because only government and big corporate representatives can move right now and shake the community. So yeah, that's it. November 14, 15, Block Show, Singapore.
Yeah,
great
and
speakers, great content.
And there's a lot of
Many
exciting
people.
speakers coming too. Again, there's a link down below where you guys can find out some more information about who's actually coming. And it's an amazing networking opportunity. If you are in the Southeast Asia region or East Asia or anywhere around there, these conferences are so much fun. They're a great chance to get out and network and meet people, meet like-minded people, but also to get to, rub shoulders with some of the top names in the industry, which is one of the things I love about going to these events. You'll see like, oh my gosh, it's that guy, holy cow. And you have those moments constantly walking around. So that's really cool. And just one other little detail before we finish up the chat here is there's like a whole bunch of different tracks you guys are doing for the event this year. Could you just give us a little bit of detail on that?
Yeah, sure. So tracks or verticals, right? We were just thinking about the content. Right now, we are really working hard on it, but we just decided, hey, just blockchain topic, just technology topic is not enough. So we thought, okay, we will divide the content into 10 main verticals like investments, trading, gaming, all of these kind of things, right? Even in marketing and PR, AI is there, right? You can actually look at it at the website, right? So it's just main 10 verticals. So for example, if you're a trader, you're interested in trading. So you come for 2 hours, you come to Block Show, you listen to people that you want to, you listen about the issues that you want to, and then you network, then you party or meet your partners, whatever, right? So basically, if you're a gamer, you come to the gaming one, or a game developer. If you're an investor, you come to the investor one. So this is kind of things. And for 10 types of audiences, for 10 types of community people, we have this 10 verticals. So that's basically this.
Nice. And of course, a lot of people will be interested in more than one thing. So you can come and you go to the gaming, you go to the investing, you go to the trading, and you get a lot of information and a lot of great value. So again, guys, there's a discount code down below. And of course, the website where you can get some more information on Block Show. Addy, thanks for coming on real quick and just letting everyone know a little bit about what the conference is going to be like. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lark. Thank you for inviting again, and see you in Singapore.
Okay, time for a Bitcoin giveaway. $100 worth of Bitcoin coming to one lucky commenter. So actually, guys, the video didn't quite hit the 3,000 like mark, but I still want to give away some Bitcoin because that was one hell of an effort anyway to try and get it up to 3,000 likes. So thanks to everyone who hit that like button on the video the other day. Remember to hit the like button on today's video too, guys. But we're going to find out who our winner of $100 worth of Bitcoin is. Who is it going to be? Long live the blockchain. xmodem240. Thank you for liking and commenting on the video the other day. $100 worth of Bitcoin coming your way. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. As always, you guys totally freaking rock, and I love you all, and thank you so much for your support. You guys, seriously, the best ever. Really. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy today's video, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.